Hi, and welcome to our first asynchronous class for poetry and flash fiction. I'm hoping to build several of these lessons throughout the semester. It is a class that you can take independently, but you must complete the steps before our next scheduled class. Here's what you'll have to do today for this asynchronous class. You need to read and annotate Mary Oliver's A Poetry Handbook, pages 35 to 57. You're going to need to listen to a poem of the day, very famous poem by William Wordsworth. You'll need to watch a Playpos video, and if you have no idea what that is, that's okay. You are going to have to register with Playpos. I'll talk you through that. Then you are going to need to choose a homework assignment to do. You get to decide if you're feeling more creative or if you're feeling more analytical. Either one is fine. First things first, before you do anything else, I want you to actually stop the video and read from Mary Oliver's A Poetry Handbook. You have to read pages 35 to 57. Please understand that we are going to have a quiz on this material later in the week, but you really don't have to memorize anything. You'll be able to use the book for the quiz. But if you haven't read it and annotated it carefully and thought about it, then you're not going to do well on the quiz. So please take the time, stop right now, and go do that. I'll see you back here in a bit. I hope you enjoyed Mary Oliver. Now we are going to listen to the poem of the day, which is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, and it's by William Wordsworth. Let's take some time to do that right now.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
That poem is considered by many people to be one of the greatest poems in English. It is often in people's top 10 for the best poems in English. Was written during the Romantic period, 1804. Wordsworth actually revised it a little bit later. It was written after he looked at a sea of daffodils and then carried that memory with him. It is considered a pastoral poem because it is set in nature. What you probably didn't know, although if you read Mary Oliver carefully, you're starting to understand the meter that lies within that poem. And that's exactly what we are going to be looking at today. That particular poem is in iambic tetrameter. And that particular rhythm is a fascinating one that lends a certain tone to that particular poem. Mary Oliver says that lines of tetrameter have a certain quickness, spareness, and even a little agitation about them. Perhaps like a field of daffodils blowing in the breeze. For step 3, you're going to have to watch a Playpos video and answer the questions that are embedded within that video. You can find the link on RomanNet under assignments. It's very important that you understand that you don't get graded on how you answer these questions. I am checking your understanding. This is absolutely one of those situations where we are in the learning zone. You are trying to do your best at answering the questions, and I'm going to look and just see, are you getting this? Do you understand it? And if you don't, I'll reach out to you before the quiz and say, hey, let's look at this together, or maybe you'll want to go back and look at this video. Here are some other helpful additional resources. So watch the video, do your best answering the questions. I hope you have some fun with it, and then come back to this video for the last part of your assignment. Step 4. Here's the last thing that you need to do. You have to choose a homework assignment. You get to decide. You can either write a 3-2-1 statement on the discussion board, or you can write a 4-line poem that imitates Emily Dickinson's rhythm. Either one of those assignments will serve as your homework. A 3-2-1, if you've never heard of this before, it's actually a great way to summarize what you've found out when you have read something or watched a video. You should tell me 3 things that you found out, 2 things you found interesting, and 1 question that you still have. Post that on the discussion board, and then you're done. Or, if you're feeling creative, you can write a 4-line poem that imitates Emily Dickinson's, which I think you'll actually get the hang of if you start to do it. It's a pretty fun exercise, and I really hope that some of you take up that challenge. Put the poem on the Dickinson discussion board. If you have chosen not to do that particular assignment, go and look at the other ones that are up there, because I think you'll have some fun seeing what other folks do. If you choose to do the 3-2-1 assignment, you will notice that you cannot view other people's entries until you put yours up there. But go ahead, do either one of those, and I will see you virtually for our next class. You're all done. I hope you enjoyed this asynchronous class, and I'll see you soon.